strung out on crack. This is above my pay grade. Out here slanging 2-piece spicy. Why would she do that? Hello, little enzymes. Welcome back to Dacia's Digest. Today, we will be diving into relationship drama. All of the information, of course, is in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into it. First story. Am I the A? Oh, this one is actually from our subreddit. It says, am I the a-hole for passive aggressively cleaning when I'm angry? Hey, I finally made an account after watching you on YouTube for a while, mostly because I need to know if I'm in the wrong for this situation. I love your channel and would really love your opinion. Well, thank you so much. I feel so honored. I hope that we can do you justice, girl, with whatever's going on here. Also, sorry it took me a while to get to this because I see you posted this 23 days ago at the time of me recording, but I hope it's not too late. I, 24 female, am currently living in an apartment with my cousin, 22 male. I'll call him Joshua for this post. Fake name. First, here's a bit of background. I grew up the youngest in my family, but my mom had pretty bad OCD, so every single one of us was taught how to clean from a very early age. Every chore had to be done a specific way, or my mother would blow up. I remember spending winters scrubbing stains from her white rugs and getting things tossed at me if things weren't done correctly. By the time I was 13 and my siblings had all moved out, I was in charge of cleaning the whole house, doing all the laundry in the house, and cooking dinner 5 days out of the week. Let's just say that I was very stressed, and this led to me not having the best relationship with cooking and cleaning. Joshua grew up as the eldest of his siblings, but none of them were taught how to cook or clean. He lost his parents young and was raised by our grandmother. She didn't want to put too much pressure on any of them, so she was the one taking care of the household. There were some issues in their housing situation when Joshua was about 13 himself, which led to all of them coming to stay with my family for a few months. They ended up moving permanently a few blocks away from us, and that's when Joshua and I started to become close. At around 18 and 19, I decided to move out on my own because I honestly couldn't handle being at home with my mother anymore. I dropped out of school and focused on working. My apartment became the hangout spot for Joshua and I, and after he graduated, he suggested that we could find an apartment together. It sounded like a great idea and would take a large load off my back financially, and I could finally go back to school to get a better job. Now, here's the issue. After we moved in together, cooking and cleaning quickly became an issue. Our apartment wasn't dirty, but it definitely wasn't the cleanest, and Joshua still hadn't learned how to cook, which led to a lot of takeout and takeout bags being tossed around by him. By him? He ain't got no trash can? So he just wallowing in takeout bags, Every time our apartment would get dirty, he would just sit around like there wasn't an issue with any of it, and he would only start trying to clean up when I started cleaning. He never tried to initiate cleaning or even attempt to pick up after himself. After a few months of this, I sat him down and talked about making a chore system that we could follow because I couldn't keep living like this. He agreed, and we found an app to make our list and set daily reminders. Okay, that's a good step. That sounds like a nice, healthy step. You brought the problem up. Y'all found a solution, something that could work for both of you. Okay, but she continues, it's helped, but not a lot if I'm being honest. There are many days where I'll come home and Joshua hadn't even attempted to do his chores for the day, or he'll say that he'll do them the next day, but turn around and complain that it was technically now my turn to do them. They're daily chores that switch back and forth between us depending on the day so that it can be fair. I started to just put on some headphones and just clean the mess at this point. I always told myself that I wouldn't let my anger get the best of me after seeing how my mother would get. But I'm becoming so angry these days, and now I'm just using my anger to clean. This led to an argument. According to Joshua, the way that I passive-aggressively clean is making him feel like crap, and that he has to walk on eggshells around me, and that I have a really toxic relationship with cleaning. I don't know what to think, and I'm at my wit's end, so am I the a-hole for passive-aggressively cleaning when I'm angry? this is above my pay grade. Okay. I'm going to just start there. But I'm going to give my uneducated opinion. I don't think you're the a-hole for passive aggressively cleaning. And I feel like you try to approach the situation in a healthy way. Now, I don't know if I would have let a few months go by, but after a few months, y'all sat down, y'all made a system to try and follow the daily reminders, all of that. Now, two things can be true. You probably do have an unhealthy relationship with cleaning, but unfortunately, you decided to enmesh. Y'all know me and my words. Enmesh. Yes, you decided to enmesh your life with someone who also has a unhealthy relationship with cleaning on the opposite end. They don't like to clean because you talking about he got the takeout bags piling up around him, essentially. That's actually crazy. Like, you can't take, after you eat, take it to the trash. So y'all are on like almost opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to cleanliness. I think for you, you just need to live alone or live with someone who is equally as serious about cleaning as you are, and also perhaps enroll into some therapy if you can. It's not bad to be able to, to clean. It doesn't necessarily sound like, from what you mentioned here, that you're doing anything overly crazy when it comes to cleaning. But, you just don't want it to get out of hand, especially, being that your mother had OCD and the things that you had to go through growing up. So again, I would say not necessarily the a-hole for being passive aggressive. You tried to approach it in a healthy way. I probably would have done it passive aggressively as well. And this is why I say this is my uneducated opinion. Because look, if you're not going to, let me do it, it's better than, hurting somebody's feelings and saying something I don't want to say. But now let's look at it from his point of view. The same way that you felt growing up with your mother who had OCD and would do things a certain way in the household could be very similar to the way that Joshua is feeling living with you. So I think it would be good to maybe take note or inventory or whatever of the situation. Look back at maybe how you may have reacted in some specific ways. At the end of the day, you guys just have different living styles. You have ways that you grew up, and it's basically ingrained in you in how you decide to live your life. And at this point, I don't think it's going to change. So the only thing that can change is you compromising, him compromising, which you tried to do. It didn't work. The last resort is to live alone or live with somebody who can be equally as clean, unfortunately. Again, my uneducated opinion, I would seek a therapist because maybe y'all can even have roommate therapy, or, I don't know if that's even a thing, but yeah. Little enzymes, comment below on this post or on her post on the subreddit with what you think, and we'll go to the next story. Female 18, my parents would cut me off forever if they knew how I've been paying rent. Now, I feel comfortable sharing this because she said they were already made aware of this situation. So I don't feel like I'm outing her or anything. And she said she didn't care, even if they did see the post or whatever in the subsequent post. So just FYI. But it says, I grew up in a super strict household, no phones until high school. Makeup was sinful. Anything outside of church or school was corrupting. When I left for college, my parents basically cut me off. No calls, no money, nothing. They said, you chose it, now live with it. I thought they would be supportive, that I'm expanding my horizons, but I think they just wanted to fully control me. I tried doing everything right to make money, like selling old clothes, babysitting, etc., but I was still broke and starving more than studying. I overheard a girl at a bar, not proud of the fake ID, saying she got paid just to look cute and keep guys company. No two-piece spicy, just dates, was doing a little modeling here and there. I was skeptical, but I thought I'd try it, and it worked. I was able to pay rent, eat, and finally take a breath knowing that I had some money. It felt wrong at first, but now I kind of like cash and the freedom. If my parents found out, they'd say I sold my soul and disown me. Maybe I'm just desperate, but for the first time, I feel empowered. This was just a confession post, so I don't think she was looking for any advice or anything. There is a follow-up post after this, but look, girl, live your life. It don't seem like anyone is being harmed in this situation. It seems that both parties are, consenting to the interaction. You not out here slanging, two-piece spices or anything like that. You just haven't, you want to go to dinner. You need somebody to have dinner with. Okay. Like, both sides know what's up. They know what's going on. Seems okay to me. Shoot, you got to pay them bills. If that's what you want to do, live your life. Somebody said, parents are a kid's safety net. What's the difference between an orphan and OP if she can't rely on them when times are hard? I leached off my parents until I was 25. I jumped my major 3 times in college and they still helped me out. I have a good job now and I am thankful. I do agree. I mean, some parents just don't have it like that to be able to help their kids, but I feel like you should try to help as much as you can in the way that you can. OP responded, when I needed them most too, now I just have to rely on myself. It's hard, but I've definitely learned a lot. Someone is giving some good advice. Just be safe. Make sure to have these guys' full name and Google them for any criminal history. Most of these guys are awesome, but not all of them are. Not everyone is sane. Ooh, she says she's been robbed twice. Oh, assaulted, battered, ended up in the hospital. Oh, was given fake money a couple of times, had a friend who was stalked, and some other dangerous situations that happened to other people. So basically just telling OP to be safe. And I completely agree. I mean, like I said, what she explained there to me sounded okay, but I'm not condoning or condemning. If what you're doing is what you're doing and everybody's safe and everybody consents, then okay. But yeah, be safe, like the lady said. And then there's an update. So this was like the next day. Am I overreacting? I cut my friend off after she exposed my secret to my parents. I made a post recently about how I've been getting through college financially after my parents abandoned me. Imagine I only told one person about my situation. Turns out she saw my post on Reddit, recognized it, and told my parents about it. So today, my dad decided to call me out of nowhere. I was kind of confused since I hadn't spoken to him for a while, and I was quite happy too. It seemed like the universe played a big trick on me considering I was just thinking about him today. I answered and he just started shouting at me, saying I've, quote, shamed the family, and saying a lot more that I'm not going to mention here. I knew it had to be my friend, so I called her. She admitted it and said she is trying to, quote, save me. I blew up, told her she betrayed me and that I never want to see her again. I blocked her on everything and now she's telling everyone that I'm overreacting. But to me, she didn't save me. She snitched and made my life so much more difficult than it has to be. She destroyed the one bit of peace I had. Am I overreacting for cutting her off? Because now I see that her intentions could have been good, but in the moment, it hurt me. Why would she? No, I don't agree because my thing is like, what your parents got to do with it? They're not supporting you. They didn't support you even going to college. You're making money in a somewhat safe, way, the way that you feel that you have to, and you're an adult at the end of the day. So why? See, you could go with the, her intentions argument, but it's giving up. It's given she just wanted to snitch. Because why would she tell them? She knows, presumably, how they are. Why would she do that? That wasn't her business to tell. Unless she was truly worried about something. But then if that's the case, why would she tell people who would make the situation worse? Like, I don't think that if she was really worried about your actions, that her telling your family would have made it better. And obviously it didn't. It's not like they were going to be like, oh, let's go get our daughter from college and like help her find a respectable job. So she doesn't have to do this. Let's, see if we can put some money together. And that didn't happen. And she knew that wasn't going to happen. So what was she really trying to do? I could understand if you were like strung out on crack or something. To me, this seems like an escalation to me. Somebody said, that isn't your friend. A. B. That isn't a good family member. Not overreacting. Protect your peace. Edit, as an FYI, if they found your last post, they will find this one too. Opie said, you're right, and they can. I don't care what they think anymore. Someone responded, intentions mean nothing when the impact is betrayal. You did the right thing by choosing peace over chaos, OP. Another person, to be honest, it doesn't feel like an overreaction to me. She breached your trust in a really rough way. Good intentions or not, it's your life, your secrets to share. Keeping her cut off seems fair game, in my opinion. Keep your chin up, you've got this. OP responded, yeah, I can't be friends with her anymore. Thanks for the kind words. Another comment, I don't blame you. It's better to just distance yourself from somebody who airs your business out like that. I don't care what the situation is. If you confide in somebody, they should honor you by not spilling the beans, whatever it is. You really don't want people you can't trust around you. I will tell you that from experience. OP responded, exactly this. I put so much trust in her and felt so betrayed. Well, that's the end of that story, and we'll go to the palate cleanser. So, of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And for the palate cleanser today, it's from Akash Singh's YouTube page. Hopefully this doesn't get copyrighted, but just in case it does, I'll put the link. So if you're not seeing the video after this little spiel, that means it got copyrighted and I had to take it out. But the title of the video just says proposal at a comedy show. So I'm just really gonna let the whole thing play.
I'm sorry, I keep staring at you. Do I know you?
Yes. We went to your Austin 3 years ago.
He thinks he can do better.
How long have you been together? 6 years! Holy shit! I don't see a ring. No ring. What a fucking idiot, right? Oh my goodness!
He still had.
Are you kidding me?
No.
This is unbelievable. You still haven't proposed? That was 3 years ago, so we're 9 years in now. And this is funny to you? What in the reason could you possibly have? You know what? I clearly did not shame him enough by yelling at him. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna have him come on stage, and I wanna give him the opportunity to tell you guys why he hasn't proposed. If his reason sucks, y'all boo the out of this man. Boo the out of this man. Yeah, no, you got no choice. Come up. Actually, hold on, wait. So a lot of times I'll say a woman in the front row is beautiful. Sometimes I'd be lying. This is actually a very beautiful girl, but you can't see the front. Would you mind also coming on this stage? Come, all right, beautiful. Okay, give me your name, dumbass. Phil, all right, Phil, idiot Phil. Okay, and then what's your name, miss? Melissa, okay. Melissa's a beautiful girl. You see this, right? So, Phil, you tell Melissa and this audience the one possible reason you could have to not propose, okay? And if it's not good, they're gonna boo in support of you, okay?
Whoa.
Now, hold on. I want you to listen to his reason, and if it sucks, then you boo. Fair? We gotta hear him out, and that way he knows it's okay, go ahead.
All right, yeah, give me 30 seconds. It's really not something I need to explain to you guys. I need to explain it to Melissa. And, you know, I loved you since the day I met you. It took me 9 years to become the man you deserve. And I want to spend the rest of my life with you before you marry me. Surprise.
Oh man. So obviously the proposal was staged. The comedian was in on it, and the guy proposed to his girlfriend on stage at the show. I just thought, I mean, shoot, 9 years and he ain't proposed. Obviously, everybody has their timeline or whatever. 9 years is a long time. I will say he did look much better in the recent video. He looked like he was taking care of himself, was in the gym, had a nice outfit. Like, he did look much more put together than he did in the previous clip. I'm not gonna lie. So maybe he really did feel like he had to get himself together. But being that it took him so long to propose, I thought that was a very thoughtful idea to propose at the same show that he got called out at for not proposing. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.